Hi everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. I know I was supposed to go live on Facebook concerning Asian American discrimination during COVID-19. So I actually interviewed her on video, and we went into depth about a lot of different issues. I really appreciate everyone watching this video, and please share this video. Comment, like, if you have questions, we can answer these questions without the live. I went into depth with this interview because this is serious issues. Discrimination against anyone is not okay. I have personally been discriminated against. Black Americans have been discriminated against for a long time. We know the pain. So this interview with my friend Min Lin was very heartfelt for me because I love her like a sister. And to see her and her family and my other Asian friends go through this, I sympathize with them. I hope you enjoy. So, hi, Min, how are you doing today?
Good, doing good today.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for coming on. So today we want to talk about a little background information. Can you just tell us, like, what is your educational background?
So I was born and raised in New York. I grew up upstate New York, so I went to high school, elementary school upstate, and then I went to NYU in the city for undergrad, and now I'm at CUNY School of Medicine for the PA program with you.
Oh, yes. Okay, so what made you choose the PA profession?
So I've always wanted to be in the healthcare, and ever since I was little, that's what my parents always told me I should be anyway. So I'm trying to be a good daughter, you know. But I worked at CityMD for a while, and then watching everything and working there and like getting experience there made me really want to be a PA. Also, the time frame and everything just seemed like a better fit for me.
Grew up in America, or did you grow up in China?
So a little bit of both. I was born here, but then with immigrant parents who are working long hours, they didn't have enough time to both take care of me and work and try to make a living for me and my family. And so once I was born, I was sent back to China, and I was raised by my grandma and my aunt in China until I was 3. And then once I was old enough to go to school in the US, they brought me back to New York, and then I went to elementary school upstate.
What similarities do you see with America and China?
It's really different. I think that I mean, like, everyday living is kind of the same. People do the same. Like, people go to work, people go to school. The education system there is really like, it is. I feel like it's a lot harder. My cousins that are there right now struggle a lot with trying to be the top of their class because not everyone gets to go to college. It's very competitive. And so,
can you explain to us like some of the culture, like especially like with the food?
So China's really big, right? And there's a lot of people. It is definitely overpopulated. We eat what we can. We eat what there is out there. People get experimental with it, but it's not like any other culture. Like, every culture has their like different things that they eat, and like other people can look at it and think that it's weird. But like, to us, like, if we see you eating a squirrel, we think that's weird. But upstate people eat squirrels, so I don't know. I think it's really different, and culturally, like, you just have to be open-minded, and a lot of the things that we eat, we grow up with it, and we think it's totally normal.
Well, I had a question. I know we did our Instagram live earlier to that audience, and I had one question, and she was very concerned about the, I guess, how you explained that, you know, that China has a big population, and she kind of felt like it wasn't fair that y'all just eat, you know, a lot of different meat, how that some viruses can be transferred to humans. And she said basically that that was kind of selfish.
I understand that, and I get where that's coming from, and I'm not downplaying it. Like, it is an issue. There are wet markets out there, and that not everyone agrees with it, but it has been there. It is a cultural thing. It is some people's livelihoods. Like, a lot of those wet markets, yeah, it's bad, and what they're putting out there can potentially be dangerous, but like, the government knows that it's out there. I'm not saying the Chinese government obviously is kind of corrupt, and like, as with any government, it is corrupt, and there's not like we understand that it's not necessarily good. I'm not here to defend that. I'm just saying that, yes, that does exist, but yes, that exists because it has traditionally and historically been there, and it's there for a reason. And like those wet marks are really hard to look at when you actually see it and know about it. But and like I can't justify that.
Yeah.
And I understand that it can be selfish, and at some points like I think about it and I don't know enough information about it to defend it or anything like that. But I know that it is a livelihood. I know that people do that because that's their job. Like that's how they make money and that's how they feed their families. So yeah.
I understand. And so like I don't know if you've been to a wet market or not, but you haven't been to one? Yeah. Have anyone in your family ever been to a wet market?
Yeah, so my hometown that I grew up in is like it's not as developed, and the town is very small. So everyone kind of, it's like this big old area, and there's like tarps put up to like keep the sun out and everything. But people who are like there to sell their goods kind of just have their things either in baskets or bags or stuff like that. There's like a lot of grains, a lot of like vegetables and fresh produce and like fresh livestock and stuff like that. But nothing out of the ordinary. Like what I guess would be weird would be like probably turtles. A lot of Chinese people eat turtles and turtle soup and stuff like that. So there's like turtles that they sell there, or like frogs, and like live chickens, and there are like bunnies and rabbits and stuff like that there.
A wet market into like today's current events. We're talking about COVID-19. How has this current event of COVID-19 affected you and your family?
My family is just like, everyone's now home. There's a lot of news going around. Everyone's like, there's so many different stories that come out and everything. And I feel like there's just been an increase in discrimination against the Asian community, Asian American community. And it's scary and sad and it's upsetting. And my parents send me articles every day, and they fear for my safety, and they don't want me to ever go outside. They're afraid to go outside themselves. Like it's horrible, and like you don't know if you could be the next victim, and like you see all of these attacks and like all of these things that happen for no reason. Like normal people are just going about their normal days and they get attacked, and they're using COVID-19 as like an excuse to do that, and that's just ridiculous. Like it's not an excuse, and harming someone or like hateful and discriminatory acts are never justified, and it's not okay. And I don't want that to affect how I normally live my daily life. But unfortunately, like I can go out there and like, is there a little bit inside of me that is afraid that something's going to happen? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Has any of you or your family had any like physical, like verbal, mental attacks on you?
So I have a close friend that has been harassed on like the subway train. For me personally, I haven't experienced anything like directed towards me or anything, except for this one time when I was flying to visit my cousins in North Carolina. And I was waiting to get back on to the flight, and I was sitting down, and this family sat down across from me. And the second they saw that it was me, they put on face masks. So take it what you will. Like it could have been coincidence, could have been whatever, but it really seemed like they felt threatened just because I was sitting across from them.
And I know some of this probably is hurtful, and you're such a positive person. Like you always uplift others and like try to stay uplifting. But I know it can take a toll on your mental health, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like it's frustrating and it's upsetting, and like every time I read any of those articles and stuff like that about like the attacks on my community, like it makes me really upset, and I like get emotional about it. But what bothers me most is that my parents like harp on these things a lot, and they like, I don't want them to ever worry about me being out here or like living out here, and they don't need extra worry like that, and I just don't think it's fair.
Yeah, and I'm sure they worry about you, but do you worry about them? I know they own like a business. Did you see like a decline in their business before the shutdown? Like did people stray away from eating Asian food?
A lot of I know a lot of the restaurants in like New York City have seen a big effect. The Chinatowns were a lot less busy. My restaurant upstate, we are a very small community. A lot of the people in the community kind of know our family and know our business. And my parents did say that they saw a slight decrease, but nothing drastic, because I do really feel like a lot of people up there are very loyal, and they know that we've been there for like over 20 years, you know, we're not going anywhere. So a small change. And then once everyone started to realize that this was a very big thing and started practicing social distancing, like, of course, business went. It was bad.
Our president, Mr. Trump, has used the Chinese virus. So with the arrow. So how does that make you feel? I know it made me feel some type of way, and I'm a Black American. Like, I was pissed. Like, why is he using this word?
It pissed me off. Like, your personal agenda and whatever you are trying to do that's not how you should be going about it. 1, 2, you are the face of this nation. Like, a lot of us Asian Americans are Americans. Like, we are born here. This is our country just as much it is that it's yours. And to say something like that or call it in that way just puts the fuel out there for more discrimination, puts the fuel out there for other people to think that that's okay. And as the face of this nation, that's what you're trying to tell everyone, that it's okay. And it's really not. 1. 2, like, did it originate in China? Yes. But surprise, it affects everyone, not just these people. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone can it's a virus. You know what I mean? Like, like, this isn't the first pandemic out there. Like, we don't trace the blame to every single one. We don't call the Ebola by wherever origination that it came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unfair, and it's frustrating, and it's upsetting. And for the president of the United States to be addressing it like that is just disappointing.
Okay. And I have an email from a Cheryl from Los Angeles. She wanted to know, like, what advice would you give to people that's really trying to, like, change how people's mindset about Asian Americans during this time? And furthermore, like, after this is over, is this going to impact, you know, is it going to be more discrimination, like, or less?
I feel like I'm really hoping and hopeful that the discrimination will be less. I'm hoping that everything that all of these communities are doing together to, like, for the people, for our country, is enough to bring us all together in unity. I don't know what it's going to be like after this. I do know that crime is on the rise. Discrimination against Asian Americans and Asians in general are on the rise. And the FBI is, like, investigating into it. And these are hate crimes. And it's really, like, it's really frustrating and sad at the same time. And it makes me scared at the same time. But there's not much else, like, we can do besides to, 1, stay aware of your surroundings. 2, like, if you see something, report something. If you see someone who needs help. Don't just be a bystander. Ask for help and report it. Don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, fight back for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Don't stay silent. Like, Asians have this misconceptions that we're all super submissive and timid, and, like, no, we should be outspoken. We should fight for our own rights. And that's what I think we're trying to do now, is to stand up for us and make it known, and that things like this are happening and that it's not okay, and we will not stand by for it. And so I think the best thing that you can do is to be confident. Like, if something happens, report it, fight back. I don't know, maybe not fight back, but you know what I mean. Like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah, stand up for yourself. I know exactly how you mean, because, like, my ancestors, they've been going through slavery, segregation, you know, a lot of things. And all I've been taught in my whole life is, like, stand up for yourself. And also stand up for others. Like, I met you, and, like, I just connected with you. And, like, when you tell me stuff about, like, how discrimination is on your culture too, I really sympathize with it. So I just want to say thank you for coming on today. And I really appreciate it. And
I appreciate you doing this interview, sharing and spreading the awareness. I love it. I love that you're so open-minded. Thank you for having me.
Okay, love you.